Okay. Hi again. I didn't want to make a super long video, so I did splitting them up. I already did my brows because I need to actually see to do them, so I need to look in the mirror. I don't even try to make them look identical because they don't naturally look identical. I just follow the natural shape and then fill them in. So what I'm going to do is show you just some ways that I'm using the kit, the stuff from the kit, just to do my makeup. So I'm going to use the Addiction 1 palette, and I'm going to use the shade Chipper in my crease, just as a blending one. I don't want it to go on super heavy, and I do have the deluxe brush from the kit, but I'm going to use this big fluffy brush instead, just because I want it to be almost not noticeable. I'm going to dip it in, brush it off, and then just put it in the crease. Okay. And then again on the other side. I feel like my right eye always turns out better than my left eye, and I think that's because I'm right-handed. So now I'm going to take, this did not come in the kit, I got it before. It's the cream shadow brush from Younique. That's what it looks like. It's just flat. And I'm going to take the Hopeful one, has the purple lid on it, and that's what it looks like. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. So I'm just going to dab the brush in there and get a little bit on the brush at a time. And then I'm going to dab it on my eye just to cover it, obviously. Okay, and then I'm going to just make sure. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more. I always start with a small amount. I don't want to cake it on at first because it's easier to add than it is to take away. So now I'm going to do that on the other eye. This one, again, it's not going to look as good as the right eye. And I'm no makeup artist, so this is just how I do my makeup when I do it. And there is a slight bit more on this eye because I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more, but I wasn't going to go back to this eye till I was done because that would just be kind of weird. The transition shade, and then you can see the pink, which I like that it's just a nice light pink. It's not anything real kind of in your face, so it's an easy color to use for just an everyday natural look, which is what most of my looks are, to be honest, because I'm lazy. And then I always go back in with the transition shade after I've added, and I'm just going to deepen the crease a little bit, or darken, whatever you want to say. Okay. So that's all that I would really do for that. You could add, if you wanted to, you could take the shade Elated and put it under your brow bone. I'm not doing that, that's a lot of work. You could take Sincere if you wanted to and put it in the center of your eye to kind of make it a little brighter. I'm not doing that, I'm lazy. This is just a simple look. So now I would take the Pristine liner. This isn't in the kit, but this is definitely a liner that I feel like you need to have on hand if you're at all someone who exists in the world, just because I don't think anyone is really well rested anymore. At least I know I'm not. So I always use it on my waterline just to make it look a little brighter. Also, this is not easy to do in your phone when you're blind as a bat. Okay, so see, it's already a little brighter looking. At this point, it would take a miracle to make me look like a human right now. So now I'm going to take my, the Perfect one, the black one, and I always blow on it to make it a little, some people use a lighter. I don't even know where I have a lighter. So then I'm just going to put this on the outside of the eye. because I'm trying to keep this light and not super dramatic. Sometimes I line the whole thing, but when I'm in a hurry, I'm real lazy, and so I just do the outside. And I think that only lining the outside helps add some definition and depth, but it's not going to make your eyes look really dark and closed off, which no one really wants to look dark and closed off. So now, that would be all that I do for my eyeshadow and eyeliner. Sometimes I'll put it down here, but I'm not going to today, just because, again, I'm lazy. So I'm going to do my mascara. And so I'm going to start with the gel. And I'm just going to coat my lashes really well. I'm kind of looking down into my mirror too at the same time, just because I'm not that good at, you know, putting it on without looking. And then I'm going to take the fibers and I'm going to roll it on my hand, and then I'm just going to apply it to the tips. So now while that sits, I'm going to let it kind of adhere. I'm going to move to the other eye. I'm going to do the same thing, start with the gel and just coat. And because you can't see, stab yourself in the eye. And get it underneath. But I'll wait for that to dry and then I'll pick it off. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the fibers, roll them on my hand. And then on the tips. I'm not going for anything dramatic right now because I'm not leaving the house. So you can see that it's not, like, you'll see some people that do it a little bit more dramatic, and I do when I leave the house, but since I'm not leaving the house, I didn't see the point. And then you want to coat it really well with the gel again. And yeah, I made a mess on my eye. Whatever, we're all human. So now I go in and I do the lower lashes. But I don't put fibers down there because that would seem excessive to me. And then what I like to do is get it all over underneath my eyes because I'm not looking in a mirror completely. So I like to make a mess of my face. Who doesn't? But that's all that you have to do for the mascara. Couldn't think of what I just put on. And then I'm just gonna, you know, go over that spot where I thought it'd be fun to stab myself in the eye. So that's the lashes. I know it's hard to see in the video, but sorry. But that's all that I do for that. So now I'm going to really quickly do a lip, and I'm just going to use, again, what came in the kit, the plush liner. And I don't normally line my lips, so this should be fun. It's especially really fun when you're not looking directly into a mirror. And it's also really fun when your lips are super duper chapped. So that's gonna have to do, because again, I'm not going anywhere, so I don't care. Then I'm gonna put the Lucrative gloss over it in Lucid. And I don't know if anyone else does this. I forget where I learned it. I've been doing it since the 90s because I'm old. But after you put on any lip product, you go and you get all the stuff that's in the middle that would normally get on your teeth. My husband thinks that it's weird that I do that, but I never have lipstick on my teeth, so I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to take the rose water. There's like a piece of like hair that keeps falling on my face, and I think it's a piece of mascara, and it's not. And then I'm going to take the rose water in that purple bottle, and I'm going to spritz it as a setting spray, a really smell good setting spray. I told my husband last night that I had some from, I think, e.l.f., and it smells like I'm spraying just straight up rubbing alcohol on my face, and that's not a fun scent. So this is the finished look. Trying to get a little closer. You can see the lashes. Normally I would have gone through and combed them, but my lash comb, this thing, it sucks. It's a cheap one. It was $1 from e.l.f. It doesn't really do anything. I need to get the Younique one. That one's pretty heavy duty looking. I don't know if you've looked on the site yet, but I'm gonna get that so that I can comb it out. And I use a lot of the times I do use this end of it when I'm doing my brows or when I'm trimming my husband's eyebrows. I use it for that too. But this is the finished look, just something simple, using the shade Chipper from the Addiction 1 palette that comes in the kit, using the shade Hopeful of the Splurge Cream that comes in the kit, the Perfect Eyeliner from the kit, the mascara from the kit, and then the primer, foundation, and concealer all come in that new presenter bundle that you can buy. The bronzer you would have to buy separately, but I've had this for quite some time, and it takes so little of it because it's so pigmented that it doesn't really use a lot. I guess real quick too, I'll show you, I'll use the Sexy pigment, which is upside down, the Sexy pigment, and then I don't have a fan brush, so I'm going to take just this little brush from BH Cosmetics and a bobby pin, and my upline Jamie did this, and I thought it was freaking genius. And I'm just going to, well, I'm going to mess it up, and then I'm going to redo it. Yeah, that's what today's like for me. Don't know about anyone else. And I'm going to turn it into a little fan brush. How handy is that? So then I'm going to take some of the pigment, and I'm going to tip it out into the lid. I'm not going to do a whole lot. Just going to dip the fan brush in there. Kind of knocks them off, and then I don't even know if it will pick up in this lighting, and it may not, but I can see it in real life. So that's really what matters, is that you can see it in real life to me. I also, I think a thinner brush would work best if you were to do this for a fan brush, but I don't have a thinner one. The only one I have is a Sigma brush that I actually bought for the purpose of highlighting, and I don't think that it would make much sense to do that to it. So now I'm going to take just a little bit on the tip of my finger, and I always put it right on the tip of my nose. And I forget who I saw do this, but ever since doing it, it's always made my skin look a little bit more glowy in person. So that's with the highlight. You can kind of see it. Not as much over here the way the shadow hits, but it's kind of there. I wasn't thinking about doing that earlier, obviously. So that would be the highlighted look, the finished look now. I'm not going to respritz with rose spray. Normally I would have done that before I did that, but I wasn't thinking about it. So again, rose spray comes in the kit, palette 1, the Hopeful, the Perfect Liner. You'll get a brow pencil, which you didn't see me use, but I used the one in dark. You'll get 2 brushes that you can use. I didn't use either of them, but either of them will work. If you do the bundle, you can get the concealer, foundation brush, and primer that I used, and then you could just buy the only thing that you wouldn't have had, plus you'll have the lip stuff was in there too, Pristine White and the Beachfront Bronzer. Those are the only 2 items that were not in the kit that I used. Everything else came in the kit, so you could do an entire look with just your kit look and the presenters bundle. So hope you guys enjoyed. It's a bit longer than I wanted, but yeah, that's it.